Hey guys. Oh, I had today off, and if you're going to ask me questions, I I have been really busy this week. I'm going to give you the rundown, the lowdown, the what's what, who's what, blah blah blah. Ready? This is going to be awesome because it's been a week. I've been interviewing, so. For me, job hunting is like an extra full-time job. And I take my job seriously. I've also, oh God, I have an OnlyFans account that I set up months and months and months ago because somebody wanted me to check out their OnlyFans and then give them advice. And I set it up just enough to go, I ain't doing this. This is no. And then somebody called me out on it and said, hey, on Twitter, they're like, hey, look, you have an OnlyFans account. I'm like, from when? They said, well, it says the last time you did anything with it was February. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I just got on there and I actually set it up. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Now what do I do? And I make videos like this, only not with these. And it actually, I'm a little more forward, but not much, because this is a tool. First off, for me to like grind through what I'm thinking and feeling, and then to, get used to talking to people about how I feel, and then know that it's okay. And I'm actually this has really been such a good tool for me. Example, I'm in a meeting. And we're all pissed off because we found out the material we're using is the root cause of a number of bullshit things that we're dealing with. And I got a corrective action that I have to do, and basically it's about this crap. So my coworker is giving her presentation, and she's stumbling. And they're all like, well, we feel like this has just happened recently, so it can't possibly be in this material. I says, I'm on 922B. And I have the same issue with this material. Well, it's not the same material. It's the same base material. It just has different additives. Everybody just sat there. And they're like, well, I still feel like this has been recent because this couldn't have happened since the beginning of time. I said, I've been here for 3.5 years. And I said, I'm sorry to the site manager. I said, I am sorry. Or the plant manager. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I have information. He goes, go for it. I said, I've been here for 3.5 years, and I've had a VIM to work on this topic, these bubbles, every 3 to 4 months for 3.5 years. And everybody just sat there. Like, what? Yep. How long have we been using this material? And it's been more than 3.5 years. And they're like, okay. And the funny thing that I noticed is that nobody questioned if I was right. It wasn't, can you prove it? It was, because you are you have proved it by saying it. When I say something, it is factual. It is the gospel. Nobody questions me. That's a really weird place to be, by the way. I just sat there and they said, well, this is saving us how much money? And they came up with the figures, and it's insane. It is a very, very huge cost save. And I was like, okay, we can't not save this money. Okay. So we have to figure out a better way to detect it. Okay. Are you saying that you're gonna go with us when we say what we need to do to improve this? And he's like, yeah. You tell us what you need. Sorry. I've got this line of light that just annoys the crap out of me. So it was really a good place to be. So that was part of my week. And I was just like, oh. And then I had, interview. Today I was supposed to have an interview. I was supposed to be on site in Ohio, in Lancaster, Ohio. I didn't go. Last night I sent him a nice little note and I said, I accepted an offer. I'm skipping. I said, well, I've accepted an offer, and I apologize, but this isn't gonna be a thing for me. I would just prefer not to waste anybody's time, especially my resources, because I'd have to put gas in, go there, come back, probably get food on the way back, because it's like a 3-hour drive. Oh, by the way, 3-hour drive, and what's the word? I'm going to subject myself to that for you guys, even though I know I'm not taking the job, because the job sounded awful. I had to think. I do a lot of things where I sit there and go, what did they really just say? Tell me the gist of what they just said. The interview with the guy. At first he's like, oh yeah, but he's going through everything, and he's like, oh my God, you know all this stuff. Yeah, yep, I do. This would be so cool. And I'm like, yeah, it would be. And he's like, oh wow. But he's going through and he's like, I said, yeah, my current job, I work 7 to 4, 5 days a week. Do overtime if I absolutely feel I need to, but most of the time I can crunch out everything I need in my normal time. And I've got my processes all stabilized so that when I leave, if there's any questions, they just go and they know what to do. It's not we must call AJ and ask 100 billion questions, or have him come in, which they used to do when I first started. Well, when I was on day shift about 2 years ago, they'd call me up and I'd have to drive in and then talk to people. Now it's like, well, Albert said the following, and then everybody goes, oh, okay. So my name's kind of like this weird thing at work. People listen to me. It's really weird. So anyway, you'd think I'd want to stay because of that, but I just can't live in this area. It's just killing me. That, and there's more, but so I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think of how this is going. Okay, so I tell these people I can't go. They're asking for the same money I'm making now, 12-hour days, launches, everything's a shit show. Nothing is functioning the way it's supposed to. Their capabilities are just dreadful. And I'm just sitting there like, what? The interview I went on Friday of last week, walk into this plant, it's air conditioned. The process owners own everything. My job is just to hold the customer's dick if he has to pee or just wants to get jerked. And that's it. And it's like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. And I have to go to Hitachi in Japan at some point, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't care. This is great. So yeah, it's I'll have to figure some things out, but the logistics are not bad. Go to the place up in Ohio, and I walk in, and it's just like the plant that I used to be in Wisconsin, over by La Crosse. And as I'm walking through it, and they have no understanding of Poka-Yolks, they don't have any audit systems, they don't have all this stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, this is going to be a lot of work. But it was exciting because I liked the quality manager, and I got to meet the plant manager, but I didn't meet anybody else, which I thought was interesting because you should have a team. And I'm beginning to realize they don't have a team. That's going to be a problem. If it's just a quality person that has to deal with all the quality spills. And he's like, yeah, sometimes we have to go to plants and sort stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there like, what? Do you know where the plants are? They're all over the country. I can't just up and go. I have the evil one, wherever he is. He's probably laying out on the couch. I'm not going to do that. This place, they're like, yeah. The place in Kentucky, they're like, yeah, we have 0 parts per billion for rejects. I'm like, and they're proactive, trying to figure out everything so they have no quality spills. So I'm like, oh, this is the kind of company that I wish I worked for. And I'm like, at first I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm the caliber of person that could work there. And I'm like, why do I put myself in a place where it's like, oh, you'll screw up? No, I won't. I take systems and look at them and find the pattern, where people are doing stuff and how things are working, and I fit the pattern to my world. And if I do that, I will be doing exactly what they're doing. And I won't have to deal with it. And I won't have to deal with the quality issues. And I won't have to deal with the bullshit. And I'm like, do I really want to go to a place where I'm going to be busting my ass to get things to sit correctly? Or do I want to work someplace where it's just maintaining the matrix? Like, I'd rather maintain than create from scratch. So I've like politely told everybody I wasn't interested. The funny part about the Ohio one, the Lancaster one, was I sent a note to the recruiter, and I said, basically I've got another position. It meets my goal. It meets my goals, my career goals, and it's in a location I really like. And I don't see this being a fit. I don't really want to waste you guys' time because I've already accepted the offer. He sends a note back to the plant saying, hey, I found out why this got canceled, which I canceled it. I sent back a no, and that canceled it off everybody's schedule. Found out why this got canceled, and this is what he said. And it was what I said. And then he sends out another note. So mind you, I'm being copied on all of this, even though I shouldn't have been. Now I'd have insider knowledge. He sends another note to them saying, hey, I talked to me, AJ, and he got a position making $105K with a 10% bonus. I didn't talk to the guy. I sent him an email. He sent what I sent to them. That was it. He made up a story. He says, now there's this other guy who's still in play, but you guys are trying to underbid him. And I'm seeing that the market's saying that he should get more money. And if you guys still want him, you will need to up your ante and at least meet or exceed what he's asking for. In the meantime, I'm sitting here thinking, the recruiter is playing them, using me to tell them that they're being stingy, which they are, and they need to cave on this guy or else they're going to lose all their candidates, and they need to immediately. And I'm sitting there like, oh, well played. But I wouldn't have copied me, just saying. So that was a hoot. I got a call, a note from the recruiter for the Utah job saying, this is a no-go. They're afraid that if they bring you out there, you're going to be there for a couple of years and then you're going to just find a new job. And I'm like, probably smart. I think Utah was a weird idea for me, and I was just playing with it. I was interested in the position, but it was more of a playfully interested in the position. The South Carolina job, which they said, oh, we'll have an answer by Friday. Well, it's Friday, so I haven't heard from them, and I don't really care to. It just wasn't going to work. One of the North Carolina jobs that I had an interview for on Wednesday that I had to sit in the parking lot from 4 to 5. I've missed the gym all week, by the way, and today's no better. But from 4 to 5, talking to this guy, and he basically came back with, he knows his stuff. He's used to coaching people, making people understand quality and getting them into the mindset, which is what he was talking about, what he wanted. He says, but I kind of want somebody that has a little bit more of an engineered flavor to them. If we could look at some more people, I'm not saying he's not in the running. And I sent a thank you note to my recruiter who would send it to me just so I could see what the feedback was. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I posted it on Twitter because I'm a dick. You'll see some things where I save things so I can ruminate on them and see how I feel and see what it actually is saying. But when I read it again, it said, well, he's still in the running. And I said, can you send them back a nice note saying, I'm no longer in the running. I've accepted a position at a company and am out of the job market. And the guy's like, oh, okay, well, good luck, thanks, blah, blah, blah. Got another note from a company, from a recruiter for a company that was like, well, they interviewed you and they're looking more for this kind of person than you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I've already accepted a position, so I'm good with this answer with the company that actually sees my, worth. I didn't say it like that, but it was implied. And he responded with, I am so glad you found something, and I wish you luck in the future. Cool. So when people come back and say, oh, you're not the right person for me, always thank them. Always. That shows you have class. It also shows that they didn't hurt you. And I also responded with, I am so glad that you told me what was going on, because I really appreciate feedback rather than being ghosted. A lot of recruiters will ghost you. A lot of HR will ghost you. You're like, hey, did I get the job or not? And they're like, did we call you? No. Then you didn't get it. I'm like, how do I know when it closed? To know if I should still be talking to you guys or not. Well, you just should wait for us. And it's like, oh, that ain't how it works anymore. Did you see how many jobs I was talking about that I was interviewing that they were actually seriously thinking about me and are now empty? Empty, with no candidates. So I'm like, cool. So I found an apartment in Lexington. Kudos to me. I really want. And I'm going between these two, and I finally picked one. It has the laundry's in the kitchen. You're cooking here, and then you go like this, and you open these bifold doors, and there's your laundry. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And it has a big living space. Not big. It has compared to the size of the apartment, it's a big living space. And the bedroom and the bathroom. And all the floors are vinyl plank. Perfect. I have to get a frame for my bed. Wolfie is not housebroken. My ex is an asshole. We're just going to say that. They're just going to live with that. Oh, it's been a day. It's been a week. I am sorry I haven't been on here. And, like I said, I now have an OnlyFans. If you look at the name of my channel here, and then go there and just plug that in, that's me. I love you guys. I love you, dude. Don't judge me based off that, okay? Thanks.